Hello everyone, 2357 here and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're not going to be talking about mob spawning, but instead we'll be talking about killing mobs. And of course my preferred method is using trend killers. And this is just the first episode, so I'll be covering the basics, and in later videos we'll be going into details into more specific areas. Now the first question I want to discuss in this video is why even use trend colors. Is it just about the looting effect? Well, not really. Sometimes it can help with kill speed as well. Well, in most mob farms it really doesn't, because it takes longer to take them to a central kill chamber, and for example this layout for a creeper farm by plushie is a lot faster just to make them drop and die to fall damage. But for some things like HSS, it's a lot faster to use trend killers. For example, this is a outpost trend killer, and as you can see the mobs die a lot faster than you could possibly imagine to kill them using fall damage or lava or something like that. And even pack spawns die fairly quickly. Of course, not only HSS can benefit from the kill speed of trend killers, but any small farm where you can bring the mobs close to the TK fast enough works. For example of a small farm is an iron farm. This iron farm by Lonely Minecrafter kills the mobs a lot faster than a lava blade could. And once the TK iron golem reaches the giant killer, the lava blade would kill it 5 times slower than a giant killer would, which is uh, a lot faster. And I think it increased the rates of the farm by around 15 to 20 ingots per hour. I'm not exactly sure about that, but according to some testing it was around that. And yes, this giant killer doesn't break on relog, so no, you can't really say that it's not relog proof, so you're still gonna use lava blades. I mean, it does break, but you can just fix it again by relogging. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the trend killer cycle speeds and the 10 game tick cooldown. As you all may know, piston can only cycle once every 8 game ticks, so if trend killer uses a single piston, then its speed is 8 game ticks, and it will damage a mob every 8 game ticks, while a trapdoor can cycle every 4 game ticks, so it will damage a mob every 4 game ticks if you actually use a 4 game tick lock with it. So the trapdoor trend killer is twice as fast as the piston based trend killer, but it might not kill all mobs at the same, I mean, twice the rate. For mobs like creepers, they will die close to twice as fast with a trapdoor trend killer, but with things like zombies, well, there's the 10 game tick cooldown that you have to worry about. And as you can see, the zombie doesn't take damage every 4 game ticks. I mean, 4 game ticks is a fifth of a second, and that is clearly longer than that. And now he has moved the trend. Goodbye, sir. Anyways, there is a 10 game tick cooldown between damage that mobs have to wait for. So if a trend hits a mob, say in game tick 1, then the next time it can take any damage would be in game tick 11. And even if the trend hits it 500 times during that duration, it won't take damage. Imagine this is the timeline of the trend killer. Every 4 game ticks, the gold block represents the tick which the trend hits the mob in. And say that the mob gets hit in the first game tick, then well, it can't get hit in this game tick because of the 10 game tick cooldown, and neither on this one. And theoretically it can take damage in this game tick, but it can't really take damage in this game tick because the trend isn't updating, so it has to wait an additional 2 game ticks before it gets hit. So for mobs that take 2 hits to kill, the 4 game tick trend killer takes 12 game ticks to kill them. Now if your trend killer was 8 game tick, then it will miss this one and the cooldown will end on this one, but then you will have to wait 6 more game ticks for the mob to actually be damaged. So if the mob enters in the trend killer in the same game tick as it updates, it will take 16 game ticks to kill the mob. But of course, just like last time, the mob can spawn in any of these 7 game ticks as well. So the average kill time is around 20.5 game ticks for 8 game tick TK and 2 hit kill mob. Now of course, this delay between the 10 game tick cooldown ending and the trend killer actually updating is bad. So the way you can remove this is by having the trend killer activate on this exact game tick every time. And to do that, you need to use a trend killer that speed is a factor of 10. So a 5 or a 2 game tick trend killer works. And as you can see, no matter what game tick the first trend updates in, the trend will always update in the 10th game tick after it, so you won't get any delays between the mob cooldown and trend killer updating. But of course, see, the mobs can still spawn in this game tick as well, or in these ones. So the speed for even this is not really 10 game ticks, it's 11.5 on average. Of course, if you're brave enough, you can try a 1 game tick trend killer, but it's not a lot better than a 2 game tick one anyway. Now that's it for this episode, and in the next episode I'll be discussing trapdoor trend killers. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to learn more about tristone, then make sure to join our Discord server.